Hello viewers, welcome to Southeast News on Igbo Area TV, the voice of the East. We take you through the big stories shaking Anambra, Imo, Ebonyi, Enugu State, and Abia. Let's get into his story 1. Soludo gives condition to release of detained native doctors. Governor Soludo of Anambra State has explained his position on the release of detained native doctors. Chigozie Nwangu, popularly known as Akwakokotiwalaki, Eke Heat from Okija, and Onyeze Jesus from Mpo. These men arrested in February face charges of preparing charms for suspected criminals, misleading youths into get-rich-quick practices, and promoting wealth without work. Now, ịkpata ego na-agbahụ mbọ. Okite na ndị ochie. So when Soludo visited Oba, the hometown of Akwokoko, youths begged him to intervene for his release, but the governor was firm. There is a process. The matter is in court, and I cannot jump into the process. If he's found guilty and convicted, then after that, your leaders can approach me and we can talk about pardon. But until then, it is the judiciary that has the final say. Soludo added that the influence of such native doctors has worsened the fast money craze among youths, leading to drug abuse, kidnappings, and broken values.
Now, I'm able to Nigeria. As for Mbayalo, I wish that the Naka and were a process. And we're processing get there for me. We're processing kede for the courts. We're processing kede for me. Okay? Yes. Good. Eba no kita bona enwere a law. Somebody Listening. I don't know very also. I will tell you as it is. When somebody say no, never jemba. Obolo no this kind of mindset. Abange no nya ina kumakia maybe still a lot of our youth. Apana na no ba when abaya. It may be still umuaka. Maybe see a lot of our youth and ruin many lives. It's a lie. Deceiving children, deceiving people, scamming people. And I got barata alo. It was alo, imagine it's not alo. It was the alo, you were Kuezioku, the Mbayalo. Macabo na Ichayarelo. It may go Mbayalo. And I said, no, which means in Atwanya Ijametua. I said, no, I will but thank you very much. Kita, they are going through trial. Okay? Found on a court. Once email arrest, police email mother arrest, he sent there to court. Aka onye mela arrest emego gini apugia. Ebe onozo with the judge. Enye the judgment. Assuming not the for, more the against, or not the against. That's when you will now be asking for pardon.
This story is beyond one man. It is about the soul of our youth. Why do thousands of young people chase the likes of Akwaoko? Because society has failed them. Because Nigeria has made it look like honest work brings nothing but suffering. So we are also going to look at the other side. We must be honest. Yes, our children are copying what they see. They see politicians looting billions and becoming heroes. They see fraudsters buying cars, spraying money and being celebrated. So when a native doctor promises ritual money, some youths see it as the fastest ladder to escape poverty. Governor Soludo is right that there must be due process, but let us also be real. Jailing 1 or 2 native doctors will not solve the problem. What will save the youth is a system that gives them jobs, dignity, and hope. If that is not done, then for every Akwokoko arrested, 10 more will rise. Now we are driving to Abia State. Abia State Governor Otti demands 100 billion naira over Facebook posts. In Abia State, Governor Alex Otti has gone on the offensive. Through his lawyer, senior advocate Sonny Ajala, Otti is demanding a retraction apology and an eye-watering 100 billion naira in damages from Honorable Barrister Eze Chikamnayo, popularly known as Iyerioba. The governor says Chikamnayo defamed him through repeated Facebook posts calling him names like Alice O. Thief, criminal, congenital liar, and looting governor. According to Otti's lawyer, these statements were not just insults, but damaging lies calculated to destroy the governor's reputation, which he built from his years in the banking sector and now in politics. The lawyer insisted Otti has never been convicted of any crime and warned that if Chikamnayo fails to retract and apologize within 7 days, a full court case will follow. You know, this case raises big questions. Should leaders spend their energy fighting Facebook critics while the street cry for development? Meanwhile, if you don't talk sometime, some will say Otti is right. No leader should be insulted publicly without proof. Others will say 100 billion is excessive and looks more like intimidation than justice. The truth is somewhere in the middle. Social media has given people power, but power without responsibility is dangerous. Calling someone a thief without evidence is very wrong. But at the same time, leaders must learn to absorb criticism and separate lies from genuine cries of the people. My people, let us ask, if government reacted to this strongly, to every potholes, you understand? If the way the government reacts, if that's the way they will react to every potholes, every unpaid pension, every bad hospital, the way they react to Facebook posts, would Nigeria not be better? Meanwhile, Otti is different Otti is different from the rest. But let's keep going. Now we are driving to Imo State. Imo PDP challenges Uzodinma to declare cost of projects. In Imo State, controversy is growing over new projects commissioned by President Bola Tinubu. This includes the Azomta single-lane flyover and the Emmanuel Iwanyanwu International Conference Center. The opposition PDP has asked Governor Hope Uzodinma to publicly declare how much was spent on this project. PDP spokesperson Lancelot Obiako accused the governor of sidelining the Public Procurement Bureau, taking control of contracts and hiding figures to cover corruption. Hope Uzodinma was a contractor on everything. Anyway, he pointed out that while the billions were spent on grand projects in the capital, ordinary roads in Umuguma, Nekede, Ihiagwa, and other parts of Were remain death traps. Schools and hospitals, according to PDP, are in ruins, while pensioners are and workers groan. This is a classic Nigerian problem. Ribbon cutting for big projects while the basics are ignored, just like the Tinubu is doing Coastal Highway, but the main roads in Nigeria are left undone. This is like what Hope Uzodinma is doing in Imo State. Just like when Rochas was there, Rochas was building status, 500 million naira status. I don't know how much, around, in millions, tune of millions. Meanwhile, there are certain things that need to be fixed. The roads around that status, where people walk, where people fly, the routes may not be okay. So it's like ribbon cutting for big projects while the basics are ignored. Flyovers and conference centers may look good on camera. They may look good on camera, but the truth is, do they feed the people? Do they heal the sick? Do they fix roads villagers use every day? I see a craze for flyover construction. Some of the times, you realize that these flyovers are not needed where they are constructed. Maybe in some other brokers we'll talk about it. So, Imo people deserve answers. Transparency is not optional. No. If you truly spend public money for public good, why hide the figures? Tell them how much you spent. Why not publish them and silence the critics? My people, let us speak truth. Development is not about shiny projects that politicians can show the president. Real development is about making life easier for the ordinary people. How impactful it is. Abia flyover, Luonka Monka. Iwanyangu Center. Hey, Nana, only Iwanyangu. Keluko si enye ndị mmadụ nni. Keluka ife alụlụ si ime ka ahụ dị ndị Imo. Let's go to Enugu. Enugu retirees risk losing homes over 8 million naira levy. Now to Enugu, where retirees, widows, and landlords in Olympic layout are crying bitterly. The government has imposed a new levy, 10,000 naira per square meter for infrastructure and 4,000 naira per square meter for C of O. For an average plot of land, that comes to nearly 8 million naira. More than the land itself is worth. Governor Enugu, mana, ebi. Residents, many of them pensioners who have not even been paid gratuity, say they cannot afford such fees. Some pleaded with government to reduce it to at least 1 million naira spread over time, kind of instrumentally. But the Enugu State Geographic Information Service defended the levy, saying the land belongs to the government as crown land and the money is needed for development. You know, this story cuts like a knife. Imagine spending your life working for government, saving penny for penny, buying land and building a small house to avoid renting after retirement. Then, the same government turns around to say, pay 8 million naira or lose the land. Enugu, I dey hello now, but Enugu government. So now let's ask, is this justice? Is this development? How can retirees who never even receive gratuity afford 8 million naira? Even selling the house cannot raise the money because the house itself is not worth that much. This is not governance with a human face. This is oppression with a government seal. Enugu government must hear the cries of the people. Development must go hand in hand with compassion. Otherwise, tomorrow we may see our fathers and mothers on the streets, homeless because they could not pay levies. What do you think, my viewers? Add your comment on the comment section. My people, these are the stories across Igbo land, southeast. From Anambra to Abia to Imo State to Enugu to Ebonyi. One message is clear. Our people are suffering. Our people are questioning. And our people are watching. At Igbo Area TV, we will continue to shine the light where leaders want darkness. And we will continue to amplify the voice of the common man. Join the conversation. What do you think about these stories? Should native doctors be freed? Should Uzodinma publish project costs? Should Enugu retirees pay 8 million naira for their homes? Tell us in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this broadcast. Together, our voice is stronger. I am Azuka OJ. I say bye-bye for now. All individuals mentioned in this broadcast are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Igbo Area TV reports only for public interest and fair discussion.